Stevie. On November 14th.
That's all. That's all.
Tomorrow. Going to see. I don't think it's a short answer. He said,
I'm sure we're gonna have a little. I had him on the table, but I still it's her last book, yeah.
Really, all you want to do is I agree. Done. And I'll give you should get together. We should. In fact, we should be more confident. We'll do it at some point. We should
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and if I could have your attention. Thank you so much. Good evening and welcome to tonight's Community Board 10 General Meeting. It is October 21st, 2024. It is just a few moments past 7 p.m. and we are ready to begin. As we do with all of our meetings, may I ask you to please stand. We will be ready for our Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is over here. Thank you. Please turn to salute. Stand, pledge, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. And first, may I ask, we have an adoption of the agenda. We have a motion to adopt the agenda. I see. Is that seconded? Thank you. All in favor? Thank you. Next, we have the adoption of the minutes from September 16th. Do we have a motion? Thank you. Seconded? All in favor? Thank you. And now we will go on to our public session. Please remember, for our public session, we are limited to a maximum of 30 minutes in total for all public matters on the agenda, and our time is limited to 2 minutes per speaker. Thank you. And we will begin with Assembly Member Alec Brooke-Krasny. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you very much. I'll be short. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Thank you very much again for being active in the community, taking care of your community and your neighbors. If you have any questions, my office is open, 310 93rd Street. Michael Bistrich is there. And again, I'm going to be very short. Just please don't forget to vote, no matter whom you're voting for. Just don't forget. I have an experience living in the country for about half of my life, where all citizens were obligated to vote. Obligated to vote. You couldn't skip the elections. There was only one candidate on the ballot. Thank you very much for listening. Please exercise your right and your privilege to vote. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Next, we welcome from Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso's office. Please welcome Jessica Callow.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm Jessica Callow. I'm from the Borough President's Office. Please bear with me as I go through my points. I hope everyone's having a happy and joyous and reflective high holy days for all the Jewish holidays that have passed and are with us right now. We had a domestic violence resource fair during October that we did in partnership with the District Attorney's Office. Thank you. And with the Mayor's Office to end domestic violence. We also did a deed theft prevention workshop on October 15th. If you know anybody that's suffering through that, please have them reach out to our office. It's a terrible issue that Brooklynites go through. So if you know anything about it or you want any more information on what we're doing past the event, please reach out to my office. Okay, State Liquor Authority virtual workshop. I know how much everybody loves their SLA their SLA issues. So October 31st is our, Tuesday, October 31st is our virtual workshop for community board members. The workshop will offer the opportunity for board members to learn more about the work of the agency and receive guidance for considering SLA applications to come before the community board. The link to join was emailed to all board members by Bianca Stevenson. So if you didn't receive the email, please let me know. Or if you want to check first, that's her name. And yes, please reach out if you have any questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Next, from the Brooklyn DA's office, please welcome Nancy Lulu.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. First, I would like to extend greetings on behalf of DA Gonzalez to everyone. I'm going to be brief. As you are all aware, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And, either you or someone that you know is dealing with domestic violence. So just know that there is help out there. And if there's something you would like to address with our office in regards to domestic violence, we have a number with our bureau. The number there is 718-250-3300. And if there's anything, any public safety related concern, anything you would like to report to the DA's office, it can be either anonymous or regular. You could call our Action Center's phone number, which is 718-250-2340. And as always, I want to thank CB10 for all the great work that they do for the community, behind the scenes and in front of everyone. Thank you so much and have a great evening.
Thank you so much. And next, from Senator Andrew Gennardis's office, please welcome Maya Yedin.
Thank you. I don't have Lori Windsor here to compete with tonight. Just wanted to thank everybody. We had a really terrific shredding and e-waste event in conjunction with Councilmember Brannan's office this weekend. I think we shredded almost 10 tons of paper, which is pretty remarkable, and it fit in the truck, and for that I am grateful. And we had great help from the Bravo ambulance squad and the Zavarian robotics team, who were super, super helpful. So thank you to everybody who came, and we'll be doing another one in April. Halloween events in conjunction with our friends at NIA and Councilmember Brannan and Senator Chu's offices this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. There's flyers on the back for them. Bring your grandkids, bring your kids, bring yourselves. We also are partnering with the NILAG Legal Assistance Van. We're doing 2 different in-district events. There are flyers in English and Spanish back there for those. Reminder that we have mobile office hours on the first Wednesday of each month at the Brooklyn Heights, Brooklyn Public Library branch, every Monday and Thursday at Councilmember Brannan's office. And I brought the very popular no solicitation signs. If anybody wants them, they're in the back. And next month we'll talk turkeys. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We would like to recognize from Councilmember David Carr's office, Michael Pardo is here with us this evening. Thank you, Michael. From Councilmember Justin Brannan's office, please welcome Stephanie Giovinco.
Hi, good evening. Just real quickly, I wanted to remind you that early voting does start on this Saturday, October 26th. And in Bay Ridge, there are now 2 polling locations, both Fort Hamilton High School and the Greek School of Plato. So if you want to check to make sure where you are to go and vote for early voting, please just go on to nycvotes.org. And I know the Board of Elections have also been sending out the notices to let people know where to go. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, from Councilmember Alexa Aviles' office, please welcome Rob Aguilar.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rob Aguilar, District Director with the Office of Councilmember Alexa Aviles. So we've got just one quick update. We want to make sure that everyone is aware of 6 proposals that are on the ballot. These were put forward by the mayor. Normally, it takes 271 days for review, for public input. For some reason, his Charter Revision Commission approved it in less than 2 days. So these ballots have heavy impact on the entire community. So we have some information on what's on the ballots and how they can affect you depending on which way you vote. So we want you to make sure you're aware of that. So when you go into the voting booth, the proposals are on the other side. A lot of people just go in and they vote and then submit it, but don't bother to look at what's on the other side. So make sure you look at those, look at the information so that you can see how this affects you, and you make sure you vote. So early voting starts next Saturday.
If I'm hearing you correctly, they normally have to do this within, like 6 months before?
So, right, so what happens, yeah.
Then how did this get on the ballot at this point?
Yes, so that's the interesting thing, right? So they're looking to amend the Constitution of the City of New York with these proposals. So that's why we want to make sure that it's on the ballot, right? We can't change that part right now, but we can't change how you all vote. This is the mayor's charter review board did this, and that's why this is concerning to us as an office that represents constituents in District 38. And we want to make sure that everyone is aware so that you all are informed with what's on the ballot, 6 proposals, so that you can make your decision. This is not something that we came up with. The mayor and his office, and you can reach out to the mayor's office if you would like, but, you know, as far as...
I understand,
yeah.
But my question is, you started out saying that this normally, or it's supposed to take...
So no, it's supposed to take 271 days. That's how it works, okay, for public input. In this particular case, for some reason, it went through in less than 2 days. And these proposals are on the ballot.
But I'm not, I just want this to be clear. I'm not in any way casting aspersions upon you or your office.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand how this could happen.
Yes, that's what we're all trying to do.
Here, then he can put anything on.
That's why it's important that you find out what's on the proposals so that you can vote the right way.
Now, but I'm more interested right now in the process.
Yes,
as to how that could happen.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you. I understand. I appreciate there is now a lot of concern around those issues that were raised, and I don't have the answers to that, but it was raised to us to be informed voters, and I thank you for delivering that message. Next, from Assembly Member Michael Chanusis' office, please welcome Michael Capitelli.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to be with you again. The Assembly member wanted to, in particular, point out one particular program. As we all know, the cost of living is getting excruciatingly high. And so there's something called the Energy Affordability Program. Just today, there was an announcement around for low-income New Yorkers or middle-income New Yorkers to lower their electric bills. So this program is run by the Department of Public Service. If you email the Assemblyman's office, we can send you the information. And so it's called the EAP, and the EAP provides financial relief for 2.7 million New York households. And it's important that those who are eligible avail themselves of this program. So we just want to, for those constituents who would qualify, want to make sure that you do so and you sign up. And if you email the Assemblyman's office, he's happy to provide the information for the program for those who need it. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, from State Senator Chu's office, please welcome Samia Ayan.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's well. We just passed a legislation where it's on Efren's law. Unfortunately, in June, Efren Barrero lost his life, at a tragic accident with a motorcycle. The driver was unlicensed and unregistered. So this law, as it passed in June, it's a felony. Whoever drives a moped or a motorcycle that is unlicensed and unregistered. And if you guys have any questions or any assistance with any issues, sanitation, a traffic light, a SNAP case, cash assistance case, you can always call by. Walk-ins are available, or call our office 10 to 5, Monday through Friday. Our number is 718-333-0311. Thank you.
Thank you. And next, from the 6-8 Precinct Community Council, please welcome Eileen Sacco.
Hi. It's been a while. I've worked with many of you for years and years, and for those of you who don't know, I was the president for a really long time of the precinct council. I keep leaving, and I keep getting called back to do stuff. So it was in flux, and I was brought back to do the really big night out last year, but it poured, so kind of didn't happen. So we are doing a penny auction this year in November to make up for what didn't happen in August. And we've got two great honorees. Well, yes, the Beckman family, but multiple nominees, and Dorothy Garuccio. So, who I can tell you for as long as I've been around, for 20 years or so, they have always helped us. And so we, I know Carmen threw out a bunch of flyers. Please think of coming. I know some of you are already coming, so that's great. And, please think about it. And the other thing is we have an email system that started, and again, things are in flux. We're bringing it back. We have about 2,000 people on it, and we send out things from the precinct, crime tips, meeting notices, safety issues. Sometimes we send out pictures of lost kids, depending on what's going on. We've found lost dogs. We have wanted posters of neighborhood suspects. So I'm going to leave this really professional-looking pad at the table over there. And if you're not, I know many of you are, but if you're not on the email system, we don't share emails. And, I can just tell you one quick story. There was a snowstorm, there's many snowstorms. There was one where the neighborhood didn't get plowed. And the precinct email, along with the community board, we worked, and with the mayor's office at that time, worked block to block to see who was plowed, who wasn't, who had a car stuck on their street. So it was, it's a really good thing, and we don't share it. So if you're not on it, sign the professional paper, and thanks, and I hope you come.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. And next, we welcome Wendy Troll from Civic Engagement Commission.
Thank you and good evening. I am from the Civic Engagement Commission. Are folks familiar with the Civic Engagement Commission? Have folks heard about it? Okay, I'll start from that point. We were established in 2018 based on ballot initiatives in the 2018 election. We are mandated to implement a citywide participatory budgeting program. We also provide trainings for community boards, and we also, as everyone knows, have a very important election coming up, and we provide supplementary language interpretation services at poll sites, in addition to what the Board of Election provides. So for the arts in programming, we are providing de-escalation training in the workplace and monitoring and evaluation. Those dates are TBD for the most part, but the Brooklyn monitoring and evaluation trainings will be offered January 29th through February 5th. And you could also, email the community boards whenever we have training, so that information should be available. And then lastly, we have launched the third year of our citywide participatory budgeting process. And I just want to highlight that this is not the city council process. The citywide process enables everyone in New York City to participate in this process. There will be a borough ballot. We are working with community-based organizations to provide sessions throughout the city. So you can go to our site, participate.nyc.gov. There will be those sessions hosted at libraries and locations throughout the city. So this is an opportunity for you all to contribute to the ballot. Those ballots will be deliberated by members of the community who are demographically representative of their borough. And so there's also an opportunity for anyone who wants to be a part of that process to join us and to engage and participate. That's it. I think my time is up.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And next we welcome Board Member Danielle Mowry.
So I will be quick, but to start off, I just want to tag on to the participatory budgeting. I am part of the League of Women Voters of New York City, and we are doing participatory budgeting. We're one of the citywide partners. And so far for Bay Ridge, McKinley Middle School is going to be participating in the idea generation workshops. They've been great participants in the past couple of years, so it's really exciting to go in there and get all the ideas from the kids. If there's other groups that you know that were interested in having idea generation workshops, you can certainly speak to me. And we got a lot of votes too from our neighborhood last year, so thanks for everyone who helped me with that. But what I'm up here for is because there's something called Doc NYC that's coming up, and there is actually a short documentary film called Bay Ridge Express. So I don't know how many of you know the Bay Ridge Model Railroad Club that used to exist like in the 90s. So that film is going to be screened on November 18th and 19th. And part of the reason I'm excited about this is a friend of mine created the documentary, but really why I'm excited about it is that my son is part of the documentary because he helped move the Bay Ridge Model Railroad Club when it was getting forced out of the building it had been in for 70 years. So yeah, it was really amazing. You can go and see it at Doc NYC. You can look it up and look up Bay Ridge Express, or they actually have an option that you can watch it online. So I know it was something near and dear to a lot of our hearts, and it was there for many, many years. And I know for my son it was really important. He's still in contact with people that he's met through there and everything. But I just wanted to share a little bit of Bay Ridge pride. November 18th, which unfortunately I'm going to miss the next community board meeting.
18
and 19th. So the 19th, if people want to be. It's let me see. I'm sorry. Village East by Angelica, but it's also online. There's an option to watch it online. So if you look up Doc NYC and .net, it's like docnyc.net, and look up Bay Ridge Express if you want to know more about it, or ask me and I'll show you on my phone. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much, and this concludes our public session. We will now go on to our public hearings, and the first item up is the capital and expense budget priorities for fiscal year 2026. In the matter of prioritizing the capital and expense budget priorities for fiscal year 2026, in October, community boards have the opportunity to submit capital and expense budget requests for their respective community districts. Every year, we review and submit a list of budget priorities to the Mayor's Office of Management and Budget, OMB. OMB looks it over and sends requests to the respective city agencies. The Executive Committee reviewed the board's budget priorities carefully at our October 7th meeting, and the list was emailed to all of you with the September 16th minutes. We do have copies up here for you to follow if you need them. We will begin with a motion to dispense the reading of capital and expense budget priority lists. So we have a call for a motion to dispense with the reading. I see, and seconded. All in favor? Okay. We will open up the discussion regarding the capital budget priorities. These are the blue sheets. if there is any discussion regarding the blue sheets. Yes. Thank you. Dorothy will be coming around.
Sorry.
At the executive committee meeting, I had raised the idea of rewording the parks requests because we know that the answer from the Parks Department is going to be that they don't have the capital funds to do it, that instead we ask them to provide us with an estimate of what that work would cost so that we would have that information and be able to share it with elected officials so that it was at least just this 1 year.
So, hang on 1 second.
Henry, we did reach out to the Parks Commissioner, Marty Marr, and he provided us with some and will provide us with that estimate that we can send out when it's adopted to the elected officials.
Thank you. We have another point here. Yes?
I thought that perhaps number 15, which is about the additional capital improvements for the wastewater treatment plant, perhaps that could go a bit higher. Having visited the plant, it seems to be run by wonderful people, but with increasing rainfalls from climate change, I did worry about what would happen if we have another major storm, which is quite likely. And then a second point was number 22, the complete refurbishment of the comfort station at Shore Road Park. That really, I think, should be a priority. That's really like the nicest park in our whole neighborhood. It's so beautiful. It's such a gem of Bay Ridge. And when people go there and they're not able to use the restroom with their small children, it causes lots of problems. They have to leave early, and it's not close to any commercial areas, so you can't duck into a restaurant or anything like that. So if we could move that one up, that would be wonderful.
Okay. I think we have another.
I'm just like the farthest one.
Sorry.
So my comment is actually related to the sewage plant, where more the issue of climate change. On priority 1, I hope we could put in some language for the Department of Transportation to also investigate options for organic drainage along the promenade. One of the reasons that the Belt Parkway constantly floods when we have storm surges is that it's all concrete and it has nowhere to go. There's a lot of studies showing that along waterfronts installing, certain sorts of beach grasses or other things like that besides just rocks and concrete are really helpful in absorbing stormwater. So I hope that they'd investigate that as well.
No one else?
All right. So we have the friendly amendments to increase those priorities and to make the language stronger for priority number 1 as well. All right? And that's fine. Do we need to then get a motion to approve that, I believe?
Yeah, we need a
Yes.
motion to approve the friendly
So we have a motion to approve the friendly amendments and improve the language as outlined by our colleagues. Okay, and that is seconded? Thank you. And all in favor? Excellent, thank you.
Just a comment?
Yes. Wait, hang on. Yep.
Thank you. Just a comment. They just finished the new drainage on the Belt Parkway. If he means the area between about half a mile from and to Verrazano Bridge on the both sides, They just put new drainage and everything. They are finishing that soon. It's already done.
Hang on, you need.
Oh.
I don't want to speak for you, Daniel, but in addition to the infrastructure that's existing, is that there are materials that are available that aid absorption, is what Daniel was speaking about, which we have heard of them doing in certain parts of the city. We're actually going to have a presentation by DEP to talk a little bit about this new pavement, absorption pavement that's going to be implemented in other parts of the district.
They just spent $10 million on it.
It's more, right. It adds to that.
Just money.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, so now that we've had those, the motion to adopt those amendments as discussed, now we can move to accept the fiscal year 2026 capital budget priorities as recommended by the Executive Committee and amended this evening. All right, we have the motion and seconded, and all in favor? Thank you. Were there any opposed? Any recusals or abstentions? Thank you. This was passed. Now we're going to turn to the expense budget priorities for fiscal year 2026. These are the yellow sheets. Note that the Executive Committee reviewed this list and opened up, and now we will open up discussion. Mike is coming.
Thank you, Dorothy. I'm just, if you look to number 10, it just seems to me that that should be a higher priority at this point. I've never seen the trees in worse shape, and they are extremely hazardous in some cases, lifting sidewalks, and you look at branches that can fall. And I think it's penny wise, pound foolish, because it doesn't cost that much to prune the trees and do the appropriate thing, whereas if somebody is tripping over sidewalks and is injured, it costs the city a hell of a lot more. So I really think that that's something that, as I'm walking around being a personal injury lawyer myself, I can tell you, I tend to look at those things and they're in bad shape. We should really move that one up a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do we have another comment? Thank you.
Wait, oh, I couldn't see.
Sure.
Again, on the parks, number 11 and number 20. 11 is increased personnel to keep park restrooms open beyond 3 p.m. And number 20 is enhanced park safety through more security staff. I mean, living in the city, nobody has private outdoor space really, so it's really important that people be able to use the parks and feel safe there. I know there have been a lot of community discussions recently about people not feeling safe in the parks, and if the restrooms aren't open after 3 p.m., a lot of parents with young children can't really access them when their children are out of school, so the parks become essentially useless. So to the extent that those could be prioritized more, that would be wonderful. And then just with respect to number 4, I don't know the reasoning for the reduction in crossing guards, but that seems, given the pedestrian fatalities we've had in the neighborhood over the past 6 months and year, and really, and not even just the fatalities, but also all the injuries, it seems that we have new schools, this seems problematic, and I wonder if there's any way to have more crossing guards.
I just will speak briefly about the school crossing guards. So the board has consistently requested an increase to our allotment. And last year, there was a citywide shortage of, for whatever reason, hiring. It seems to be coming back on par right now this year, but with new schools added on, I mean, certainly we feel that we don't have an adequate amount. We have many more requests for locations than we do crossing guards at the moment. But I just wanted to let you know that there was last year a shortage, and there seems to be a big effort to do increased hiring.
I just wanted to speak on number 2, hiring additional uniformed officers. The NYPD already has a record high budget. A lot of the behaviors that were exhibited this year on people exercising their basic constitutional rights was inexcusable. They have more than enough resources to combat whatever is going on right now. I don't see the benefit of hiring additional officers for the 68th precinct. And I'm also curious what percentage of the budget is going towards that.
I don't know the percentage, but I can tell you in the 68th precinct, this fiscal year, we have the lowest number of police officers since 2013. That number has been going down citywide, the number of uniformed officers. And that was, we were briefed at budget consultations. So that granular data, I could probably get to you by, the end of the week. Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, I just had oh, okay, great. I had a question about number 3 and also number 9. So number 9 has a higher additional traffic enforcement agents. I don't know if this falls under this area, but we're noting things to be mindful of. Can we include U-turns? Like, I mean, is that a place to mention that? I don't know if it's the same, because I just feel like living on 4th Avenue, I could look out my window at any given moment and see a U-turn happening, and I just don't think they're very safe. And then for number 3, again, I don't know that it's appropriate for us to mention this, but EMS workers are not paid at the same level as firefighters. And I don't know that it's appropriate for us to mention it in that area, but if it is, if there's some way we can put that wording in there that exploring, raising the benefits or raising the pay, that it's equal to firefighters or more fair or something. Again, I don't know that this is the right place for that, but I wanted to just make mention of it.
Thank you. I just want to make the mention of regarding about the increase of police officer 6.8. They really do. I talk with them very often with that. If we can add a budget for also for unmet needs as well, especially their vehicles. Their vehicles are really beat up. They need additional money for vehicles as well, especially at nighttime. And I mean, many of you don't know, but I do know that what keep our crime rate low, because they are really working very hard to keep things quiet, and not only that, but we need to strengthen their additional uniform for enforcement on those motorcycles and those mopeds they lack of. So still, they have more work need to be done. So if it's increasing uniform for enforcement on those 2-wheel bikes, I'm all for it. We still need more of them. Thank you.
Okay. I apologize. The forced air, the heat, I don't know. So I apologize. Thank you so much. And thank you for continuing to hear from our neighbors and colleagues. So now we have had several ideas presented to us to amend. Josephine, if you'd like to just wrap that together. Thank you.
Okay, so what we heard was we want to add the language of U-turns to item number, expense priority number 9. To expense priority number 3, we'd like to add additional language about emergency medical service workers not on the same parity, for advocacy. Yes?
Number 3, I think that's a discussion by the board rather than amending this budget.
Okay, so we should not add it at this point. Further discussion for the board.
Yeah, I'm saying on number 3, I think that's a discussion for the board and not an amendment to this budget. The equalization of pay.
Okay. Next We had a board member raise the issue about the number of school crossing guards, perhaps getting some, increased priority due to the need in the board, although it is ranked at number 4. The number 10, Board Member Steve Harrison suggested that we move up the forestry contract appropriations for tree pruning to add it between 6 and 7. 6.5, there we go. And also a request from Board Member Elizabeth Edmonds to increase the ranking of number 11, which is increased personnel to keep park restrooms open beyond 3 p.m., and that coincides with also number 20, I believe, for more park security staff. And then Board Member Dino Hatsis would like to change the priority to number 2, increase patrol strength at the 68th Police Precinct, and I will get you numbers overall for the police department. But keeping in mind that this priority is specific to Community Board 10 and to the 68th Precinct. Our boundaries are coterminous, and the Executive Committee did look at a variety of things in making this recommendation, including the number of the decrease in some of the Vision Zero traffic safety summonses that are issued each year. So you have lower amounts of officers, you have lower amounts of enforcement, and that need to maintain those safety issues is also critical and important. So Jane, I don't know if you want to go through each of these one by one to see if we're going to make those changes. Would that be agreeable? I'm sorry, Elizabeth? One second. 1 minute. Sorry.
I think it would be great to have more uniformed officers around. That being said, is there any possibility of aligning number 2 with having them also report response times? Because people are saying that the response times are very long. And if you can't get a response, then it makes things more challenging in the neighborhood. And I wonder if that might be a way to mitigate some of the concerns that the other board member had.
Okay, we could add that.
Oh, yep.
Sorry, I just wanted to add, I think maybe it would be appropriate for that to also be part of a board discussion, just because there's a lot that goes into that. And I personally believe that those funds could be better allocated towards other issues that our district faces.
All right, maybe we should start with that first then, Jane. We'll vote, I'm sorry, on that.
I think we need to also turn our attention to the increased crime rates in Bay Ridge and Dyke,
which would perhaps generate opposition to moving that off the spot that it's already on?
I think we could separate that recommendation right now. Do we have a second to, I'm sorry, Jane, do we have a second to lowering the expense priority number 2?
I think I misheard what the gentleman said. Decrease?
Yeah, decrease.
We need more? Are we decreasing our
So
safety?
I mean, it was, right, it was a motion. A motion was made to change it
Decrease.
from a higher priority to a lower priority, the number of police officers in the 68th precinct. And do we get a second? We got a second from Daniel Loud. So now we have to take a vote. I'll turn it over to Jane.
Where do they want to put it?
A lower priority.
It's, right. So I apologize. So once again, we have the motion on the floor to decrease that priority number 2 to a lower priority. I'm sorry. I apologize. No, we did not have a number, but just to ask the general question to start with, if we have the agreement to decrease. So we have the motion is on the floor. All in favor of that motion? Wait, what, are we doing the
We could
vote?
have discussion. We have a
Discussion
second.
still.
We have discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, I think leaving it where it is sends a message to the police department that number 1, we're supporting the police, and number 2, if I'm correct, and Josephine, correct me if I'm not, the 68th precinct has the lowest number of officers, at least in the last 10 years. So we're speaking specifically here to the 68th precinct, not citywide. So with the lowest number that we've had in the 68th precinct, I think that priority should stay exactly where it is.
Any other?
I mean, I don't mean to speak for Dina, but I think my concern here is that if the number of officers in the 68th precinct has gone down, the NYPD budget has gone up every year since in the past 4 years. I mean, it's back to pre-pandemic levels. Yeah, almost. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, why is the number of officers going? Well, I understand that, but I do think that. Yeah, I mean, I do think that, you know, there is a serious allocation of resources issue if the budget is constantly going up and the number of officers is going down.
Hold on. Okay. We're ready. Oh, I think Paulette wanted to also speak.
Where?
Paulette.
I have more of a clarifying question. It's more about like, so number 2 and number 5 are 2 totally different priorities, right? Because the safety officers do fall under the precinct.
Right.
So I'm just wondering, like, you know, when we're talking about, you know, prioritizing more funding and more hiring the more officers, that's a separate ask than hiring more safety officers, right? They're 2 totally different asks? Okay. Yeah, then my suggestion is actually to move up the need for safety officers because that impacts our children. We have 5 brand-new schools that just opened in this district. That, I mean, I hate to say, I see cops in the subway stations all the time. If it's just a matter of like not allocating them to the right duties or the right responsibilities, you know, like as a resident of CB10, I see an abundance of police presence. I don't see enough safety officers.
Okay, thank you.
Habib, call the question.
Okay. We have another hand up. We have a hand up behind you. Okay. No
Maybe what we're asking for is that the staffing at the 68th reflect the overall NYPD budget. If the budget is going up and our staffing is going down, they have to be able to explain that. Is our crime rate going down? I mean, I don't feel like Bay Ridge is riddled with crime. I mean, in terms of what goes on in the city, we're a very safe neighborhood. But we still, I mean, I feel like we need more presence in playgrounds. When I hear about kids on mopeds driving through and terrorizing the little ones, you shouldn't have to wait hours and hours and hours for a police officer to show up. I think generally we need more staffing in parks. But maybe that could be written in to reflect what we're asking for.
Right, that's all the precinct's response, though. I mean, ultimately, it's the 68th precinct. That responds to parks issues, that responds to traffic conditions, that responds to, you know, 311 calls, which we have the, you know, the highest, are all police-related. In the data, the 311 data in CB10, the top, you know, 2 or 3 are all NYPD-related.
Does the 68th feel like they are adequately staffed with personnel?
They're not here tonight. I can't speak for them, but I can tell you that in the conversations that, I mean, of course, they would always welcome additional staff.
Okay.
And it's needed.
One other hand up over there. Now I see 2. And then we can hold the question.
Since we are talking about where to move it, I would just like to propose that we move priority 2 and swap it with priority 5, additional school safety agents. Still on the map. It's not like it's off of our list. It's just what's the priority and where is it and what are we, and I feel that number 5 is a very specific ask. And we also have number 9, additional traffic enforcement agents, also NYPD budget. I'd say give the NYPD more of their own right to determine how many officers they need per precinct and say what specific things we need.
I like that. I like that a lot.
All right, so let's call on the question. Yeah, let's call on the question.
Thank you. So now we are ready to call the question about moving the priority number 2 to
Lower to number 5.
lower to number 5. And do we have,
That's the first, right?
Yeah.
We'll do it one at a time.
so we have that motion is on the floor, and that was what was agreed
It was
upon.
seconded, so now
And
it's to vote.
right, are we ready to vote? All in favor?
So this is in favor of moving number 2 to number 5.
Okay.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Board members only. 10, 11, 12, 13? Did you count? 13. Okay. Opposed?
Opposed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. How many? And Jane? Jane? 16. 16.
16.
So then it,
So were there any abstentions? No. No recusals?
so then it
Okay.
stays at 2.
So then it stays at number 2. Thank you. Okay. And the next was about moving, do we need to get another request
So then the next
to
was
raise number 10 and 11? These were the parks issues.
Wait, do you want to go to number 3? So, do you want to go to number 3?
Okay.
So
Number
EMS,
3
I
was
think
on
we
here
said
too.
Would be further discussion.
No.
Needs further discussion,
Needs further
okay.
discussion. So then moving up number 11, which is the park maintenance and safety request.
Right, it's 10 and 11 were asked to be moved.
Right.
And those,
10 and 11 to move to between 6 and 7. Is that
okay.
right?
That's what I had.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No,
10 and 11
10
to
is
be
forestry.
moved.
10 is forestry.
Oh, sorry.
To move it up to between 6 and 7.
Okay. Did everyone hear that? So it's moving number 10 up to between
6 and
6
7.
and 7. That was the motion, and now we have to have that seconded. We have that. We have that seconded.
Right.
This
Do we have
is
that
just,
seconded?
hold on.
okay,
Oh, you
sure.
have a
Yeah,
question,
okay.
sorry. Okay.
Are we just moving 9 up or 9 and 10? Is that the proposal?
Well, right
No.
now, right now the request was to move, I'm sorry. The request was to move number 10 to between 6 and 7.
Only 10,
Yes, only 10.
And-
We're going
and
to take
not-
these one at a time.
and not 11 either?
There's too many. We'll
Right.
then go to number 11.
We'll then
Okay.
go to a number
Right,
11.
okay,
Okay,
good.
so
Okay.
so the request was to move number 10 to between 6 and 7.
Okay, got it, thank you.
6.5.
Okay.
So you got 6 or 7? Give us the number.
Okay, so let's say,
Would be the new number 7.
so number 10 would be the new number 6.
Number 7,
6, 5, 7.
and everything else moves down.
Number 6, yeah, and then everything else would move down.
Is that your question?
No,
No, you have another
just
question.
a statement.
Do you have another question? Or you don't? Oh, okay.
So right now, number 10 deals with the forestry contract, and number 6 is increased home-delivered meals capacity. Number 7 is increased Department of Health staffing for rodent inspections and bathing services. So if number 10 is moved, then the rest come down. So if it's 10 is moved to 6, then 6 will become 7, 7 will become 8, and so on. So you need a second to that.
We need a second for that.
Daniel?
Second?
You firsted it, and Daniel just seconded it.
Okay. And now we can go ahead for a vote?
No, now it's discussion.
No, discussion time, I'm sorry. We have, Ann has a question. Hang on, 1 minute. First Ann, and then we'll come back to Dean.
The question is on the motion. Does it still keep the meals above the trees?
No, that's the problem.
Okay, so when the time is appropriate, I'd like to make a friendly amendment to put the trees just below the meals.
So that would be to number,
To number 7.
to number
Okay.
7. All right. Okay, so we're going to move number 10 to number 7. Okay,
Okay.
corrected. Okay.
Okay. Anything else? So now we can go ahead.
The next
So
one.
now it is the motion
We have
to
to vote on that,
move
right? Yeah, now we have to
10
vote. Yeah,
to
and
7.
yes.
Do I need to get that seconded?
So then 7 will be the
Becomes
new 8.
8. Yeah, this is definitely done in pencil. So as you're moving numbers, like, just keep that in mind, okay? So it would be 7 going, current 7 going to 8 and moving that up there to number 7. Okay? Do I need to get a second on that?
You got a second, Daniel Larry, was
Daniel.
your second?
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, once I started coughing, please bear with me. I need your help tonight.
Now we could, if there's any discussion?
Any other discussion? No? So now we are ready to vote on that. All in favor? Okay.
22. Any opposed? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5? 6.
6.
Who's 6? 1, 2, 3.
Keep up your hands. Raise them up high.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7. Thank you. Okay.
It will be moved.
Next, you have number 11. So where was 11 being moved?
Okay, next we have Board Member Elizabeth Edmonds, would like to see expense priority number 11, increase in priority, as well as number 20. So, number 11 is to increase personnel to keep park restrooms open beyond 3 p.m. Many parents and children utilize the park after 3 p.m. Facilities need to be available to use. Many field permits extend beyond 3 p.m. And number 20, yeah, okay. Well, number 20 is to increase headcount to expand Parks Enforcement Patrol. Sorry, Elizabeth?
Wait, hold on. Do you need that?
Okay, I'm sorry. So Elizabeth is asking if we could place 20 right after 11 in priority. So moving number 20 to the new number 12. That is the request, to move number 20 to the new number 12. So then what would happen is everything would go down. So basket collection would then move to 13. Do you need a second? We need a second.
Yes, we have.
Danielle. Okay, do we have a second? So now we have discussion. Okay.
Okay.
Ann?
Discussion, hang on, Dorothy's coming.
Thank you. So we'd like to see it increase beyond 3 p.m. Does that make it dusk or 5 o'clock? Or I certainly wouldn't like to see the bathrooms open. Okay, so dusk. Okay.
Yeah.
Not after dark. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
That's, yeah. Yes.
Yes,
So
and the
to
request
dusk.
has been to, 5, 6 o'clock.
Okay,
beyond
great.
that. Okay.
Thank you.
Next here. Give here.
What if we just changed the hours and started later so that there's no cost increase, but whoever is running these bathrooms opens them an hour or two later and they stay open an hour or two later, and then we don't have to ask for any more money for this? Because who's
Yeah.
there at 9 o'clock in the morning?
Lots of leagues are toddlers. They get there at
Toddlers wear diapers, so they don't need a bathroom.
Well, we have a lot of sports leagues who have early games that start at 8 a.m. We do.
On school nights, school days, during the week?
Oh, I'm talking about the summer. We were talking about summer? Oh, summer. Yeah. So the restroom opening and closing has become very seasonal during, the summer months, and they still, we get the request all the time for them to be open beyond 3 o'clock. And beyond that, they're typically not open, and that's been really the complaint.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Anyone else for discussion? All right. So now we're calling.
20 to number 12.
In favor of moving number 20 to number 12, we have, I see we have, yes?
Yeah, flip it.
Yes.
All in favor, put your hands up.
All in favor?
Board members
Thank
only,
you.
Keep your hands up. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Did you count? Yeah.
Any opposed?
1, 2. Judy, did you vote already? 1, 2, 3.
3.
opposed.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it.
All right. Thank you. So now those are the amendments. So now we have all of these amended points that we discussed. So now we need the motion to accept the fiscal year 2026 expense budget priorities as amended this evening. Yes.
Are we adding the U-turns thing? Does that mean
Yeah.
we voted on it?
Yeah, I just added that, yes.
Yes. Okay. So moved. Okay. And seconded? All in favor? Thank you.
How many opposed?
Any opposed? Recusals or extensions?
There we go, we're done.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and before we continue on, our Assembly Member Lester Chang has joined us this evening. I know you wanted to say a few words to greet.
In my office?
Yeah, if I could ask you to come over to the microphone.
Yeah, all right.
Thank
So I'm going to leave up front here, sorry, thank you. 2 announcements here. I will have the MTA bus with the Omni, this is for senior applying for the cards, so they'll be on the 29th in front of my office, so anyone who needs that card will be in my office. And on the November 7th, oath will be come to my office, so you have any building issues or summonses, just come to my office and, you have, instead of waiting online, at least you're waiting online, my office is a little bit more comfortable. So that's the 2 announcements. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now we will go on to hear about the new wine, beer, cider, and temporary retail permit at Bay Sushi. Please welcome Chris Ellison.
Easy. It was only my hip. So the Police and Public Safety Committee meeting was held on October 10th. The meeting was a hybrid meeting in person at Community Board 10 District Office and on Zoom. We met in quorum, but not an in-person quorum. We had 1 item on the agenda, new SLA license for wine, beer, and cider license and temporary retail permit application for Bay Sushi 6 Incorporated, doing business as Bay Sushi, located at 29 Bay Ridge Avenue, Brooklyn. The applicant, Mr. Chen Chen, was present on Zoom, and we did have some audio difficulties, which we resolved by calling the applicant via cell phone. This is a new owner of Bay Ridge Sushi, which has been in business for several years. The hours of operation are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10:45 p.m., Friday, Saturday, 11 a.m. to 11:45 p.m., and on Sunday, 12 p.m. to 11:45 p.m. There is no outdoor dining. Indoor seating is 9 tables with 30 seats, and the applicant stated they will not have any music. There is no adverse history at this establishment. After the discussion period, the committee's recommendation is to deny the applicant unless the applicant agrees to the following stipulation. The premise will operate as a restaurant. There will be no sale or consumption of alcohol on the premise until the appropriate license is issued by the State Liquor Authority. Applicant will not serve or allow bring your own booze until license is obtained. The owner or manager will be on site during all hours of operation. The hours of operation are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10:45 p.m., Friday, Saturday, 11 a.m. to 11:45 p.m., and on Sunday, 12 p.m. to 11:45 p.m. There will be no smoking permitted. There will be no music. Once the State Liquor Authority license is obtained, the community board may call upon the applicant to address any concerns that may arise. There will be at least 20% visibility view into the establishment at eye level. The applicant agrees that should it change its method of operation, it will give notice and meet with the community board committee at least 45 days in advance of any such change. The applicant has agreed to the above stipulation. The committee met in quorum, but not in person quorum, and the motion was unanimous in favor. So I need a second. Dean? Any discussion? Yes?
Whose hand is up?
It's John.
Yeah, can you explain what temporary means? How long is that, and who monitors that?
It's monitored by the Retail State Liquor Authority.
And temporary retail, what does that mean?
They haven't gotten one yet. They want to get a temporary one before they can get a permanent one.
I see. So this is just for the liquor?
Correct.
Okay.
No, it's for wine, beer, and cider,
Wine,
not
beer, and
liquor.
cider, okay.
Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor, please signify. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Any recusals? Motion passes. I'll be back later.
All right. Thank you. Okay, more police and public safety to be continued. Thank you. And now I'm going to go on to the chair's report and executive committee report. So good evening to you all again, and welcome to our October 2024 meeting. This evening's chair report will include our executive committee informational report. As you know, this is our month to review the capital budget priorities and requests. Each year, in accordance with the New York City Charter, all 59 community boards are required to identify district needs and submit recommendations for New York City's capital and expense budgets for the upcoming fiscal year. Our requests address some of the most pressing issues facing our community. As we noted, the community needs to be more resilient and sustainable and be prepared for more frequent, stronger storms, sea level rise, and changing climates. We also need to plan for growth and development while balancing the impacts of our environment. With 16% of its land dedicated to parks, Community Board 10 prioritizes the maintenance of its parkland in both its capital and expense priorities each year. Many of Community Board 10's parks need refurbishment and renovation, and many necessary projects remain unfunded, including projects related to interior and exterior deteriorated or crumbling pathways. Quality of life issues, including noise, graffiti, and petty crime, are currently one of the three most pressing topics. This includes shoplifting, catalytic converter theft from passenger vehicles, car vandalism, porch package thefts, and post office whitewashing of checks mailed at district post office stations. Noise and illegal parking remain among the top 311 service requests in Community District 10. We continue to advocate for the concerns of residents regarding these and other conditions listed. We value this opportunity each year to review these requests, and I thank the Executive Committee for meeting to review the important points shared this evening. We are also indebted to Josephine for her organization and details provided for our committee. In addition to considering all of the suggested budget items, the Executive Committee also discussed two other topics. In light of term limits, it is important to think about mentoring new board members for leadership positions. We encourage committee members to speak to their chairs to let them know your interest in future leadership roles. We also discussed the importance of keeping accurate attendance records at our general board meetings. In order to vote, we must meet in quorum, and we ensure that we have quorum before starting our meetings. However, we have noticed that some committee members may leave early, and this could potentially affect our ability to cast our votes on agenda items. We will continue to work on both of these items. This month, we have the opportunity to welcome back a son of our community. We are happy to welcome Interim Acting Captain John DeSaro to the 68th Precinct. Captain DeSaro grew up in Bay Ridge, and I had the privilege of knowing his family and watching him grow up with my own son. When a child who wanted to be a police officer grows up and becomes captain of the precinct where he grew up, he does make the community proud. He also becomes a role model to all the other little girls and boys in Bay Ridge who aspire to be part of the NYPD when they grow up. Congratulations and welcome home, Captain DeSaro. Respectfully submitted, Jane Marie Kapitanakis. Thank you. And now we will go on to the district manager's report. Please welcome Josephine Beckman.
Thank you, Jane. Good evening, board members. So the district office was busy this month preparing for the FY26 budget and upcoming district needs statement. During the month of September, I attend several budget consultation meetings with agencies of the City of New York to discuss overall budgetary needs presented and discussed at the executive committee meeting. In addition, the district office publicized the capital and expense priorities public hearing to local community organizations on social media as well as our e-newsletter, and we're very happy with the response from local residents. Milling and resurfacing, you may have noticed, is winding down in Community District 10 with portions of only a few roadways left, including 65th Street, to be completed. The City Planning Commission voted to approve the City of Yes for housing opportunity on September 25th. It is now under review by the New York City Council. The City Council has 50 days to review the proposal. Tomorrow, October 22nd, 2024, beginning at 9:30 a.m., the public will have the opportunity to testify before the New York City Council. The City Council is expected to vote on this plan before the end of the year. Information is available on the New York City Council's website on how to sign up for anyone interested in testifying or to watch the live stream. Last November, Community Board 10 received written notification from the Department of Social Services regarding the planned opening of a shelter, siting of a shelter at 6530 4th Avenue. The Department of Social Services explained that the shelter proposed at 6530 4th Avenue would house 105 single adults operated by the Volunteers of America, which has been around for, it's a community organization that has been around for 125 years serving veterans and their families. At that time of notification, we did request a meeting with the Department of Social Services, and they responded that it was premature as it was not expected to open for some time because it included a brand new building to be constructed. This past week, the district office received several calls from residents of the Bay Ridge Towers following receipt of a letter informing them of upcoming construction set to begin at 6530 4th Avenue. The New York City Department of Buildings issued permits for the building's construction. Councilman Justin Brownen has set up an informational meeting with the service provider, Volunteers of America, to narrow down a timeline in order to move forward with scheduling the public hearing with the provider and the Department of Social Services and CB10 so that the community can ask questions and learn about the proposed shelter. Once it is set up, the meeting notice will be duly publicized. I wanted to share with board members that we will once again be collecting food in loving memory of our late Community Board 10 member, Helen Sokolowski, who was a staunch advocate, dedicated volunteer, and was passionate about the need of food insecurity facing local families in need. This year, non-perishable food items can be delivered directly to St. Patrick's Rectory at 9511 4th Avenue, Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. Monetary donations will also be accepted to St. Patrick's Food Pantry. And if you like, you can bring your food donations to the November General Board meeting. And there will be representatives from St. Patrick's to collect the donated foods. It is very hard to believe that this will be our 16th annual drive in memory of Helen. Dorothy and I would like to share with you all that we attended the ribbon cutting of the Sensory Garden Room at PS 69 this past Friday. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate school principal and our chair, Jane Marie Kapitanakis, who we know is a cherished community leader who does have a full-time job as principal of PS 69. And under Jane's leadership, the school has prioritized social emotional learning, and the Sensory Garden Room is just simply incredible. So congratulations, Jane. The schedule of November committee meetings was emailed to you all last week, so please take a look at that. I can't believe we're already moving forward to November. Early voting begins on October 26th through November 3rd. Your early voting poll site may be different from your election day poll site, so be sure to check that information. There's a link on the city's Board of Elections website where you can find out where your early voting location is, as well as your regular voting location if you're not aware. Also, the 2024 TCS New York City Marathon will take place on Sunday, November 3rd. The race begins at 8 a.m., as you know, has lots of closures in Community Board 10 area. That's all posted on their website, and a link will be also on our website. Daylight savings time will end Sunday, November 3rd at 2 a.m., and at that time, you should set your clocks out back 1 hour. And I just want to also give a shout out to another very wonderful board member, Pierre Lehu, who has co-authored a book, The Joy of Connections, and they're having an event Saturday, November 2nd, a book signing. So congratulations, Pierre. That's quite an accomplishment. And our next general board meeting will be Monday, November 18th at the Fort Hamilton Senior Center, 9941 Fort Hamilton Parkway. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now we will go on to our treasurer's report. Please welcome Stephanie Simone Mahaney.
Good evening. Okay, this is the Community Board 10 Treasurer's Report as of September 30th, 2024. Total personal services, $73,514.90. Total other than personal services, $6,507.43, leaving an unencumbered budget balance of $210,102.67. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we will go on to our committee reports. Tonight, giving the Traffic and Transportation Committee report, please welcome Christopher Cicerani.
The Traffic and Transportation Committee received 2 applications from Cebu at 8801 3rd Avenue for a sidewalk cafe and roadway cafe for 26 tables and 79 seats total. Under this application, Cebu's roadway cafe is smaller than what was previously there and has 40% fewer, will be 40% fewer in capacity seating. The hours of operation for both are Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday to Thursday, 3 p.m. to 10 p.m., Friday, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Cebu has been in business since 2003, and the district office noted that Cebu has historically been very willing to work through community issues. There were 2 public comments submitted pertaining to parking from the roadway cafe and pedestrian congestion in the area. Cebu noted that both applications are smaller in scope and have less capacity, and will discuss with restaurant workers about standing and pedestrian walkways. Additionally, the district office noted that there have been 4 to 5 311 complaints in the last 5 years. The committee recommends approving both applications with the applicant agreeing to standard set of stipulations. So motion number 1. Okay. So motion number 1 is for the Sidewalk Cafe application from Cebu. The motion is to approve application number 202407260300016 for a Sidewalk Cafe from Cebu for 9 tables and 35 seats, with the applicant agreeing to the following stipulations. Number 1, restaurant will meet with the community board in case of future issues or problems raised by the community. Number 2, electric wires and plugs that run across sidewalk will be safely secured to the ground. Number 3, 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday. Secured. We'll close, number 3, close 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday. Number 4, only ambient lighting is to be used. Number 5, umbrellas and/or soundproofing to be installed. Number 6, must observe New York City Fire Department codes. That is, no open flame, no fire pits, no barbecue. No smoking regulations. Department of Building Department codes, CFO, and Public Assembly codes, and New York City Department of Consumer Affairs regulations regarding sidewalk cafes. Number 7, outdoor spaces must have seated food service. Number 8, sidewalk cafe area will be kept clean overnight and furniture must be removed that is stored inside at night. Number 9, observe New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene regulations regarding smoking, including designated smoking areas in outdoor spaces. And number 10, observe New York City noise code regulations, and management will enforce this among patrons. So that's motion number 1. So,
we need a second from the floor.
what, I'm sorry?
We do need a second from the floor.
Is that second?
Okay.
Daniel seconded?
So
Okay.
all approve? All in favor?
Wait,
Oh,
discussion.
no, sorry, discussion, sorry. I'm new to this.
You gotta get me running. You gotta get me running.
I'm
have
a little
lot of
bit
answers
confused.
here.
I thought that there was a requirement that they not put electrical wires over the ground. And you're saying they'll be secured, but I don't understand how that could work and not be a tripping hazard. Am I wrong? They're not allowed to do it on the sidewalk? Oh, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I haven't seen people do it. The question is whether they are now, under the new rules, allowed to do that. My understanding is that they're not. I may be wrong, but I may be right.
You may be crazy.
I might be crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not sure, Steve, I have to. They can't hear you, they can't hear you either. I have a question too.
Steve, I have to look at the rules, because I questioned it myself when you raised it in my head. So what I could tell you is that we could confirm that with the DOT rules. If it's on there, we could leave it. If not, we could take it out. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay.
So subject to that.
Okay.
I could sit and look, I'll look it up as we're talking too.
Yeah, I was just
Okay.
looking at which number it is. It's number 2, the electric
Yeah.
wires and plugs that run across the sidewalk will be safely secured to the ground.
No, it would be in the DOT rules. I don't think you would see anything there. Do you have the rules there?
No,
Okay, I'll pass it on to, okay, we'll give it to, there's another question, I'll read this one.
I thought they were specific about that.
Now, are you applying for Third Avenue as well as 89th Street? 88.
This is 88? Yeah.
In other words, on the two corners?
Yes, on the avenue, not the side street.
Well, this is for the sidewalk cafe, and it does go on
It's not
both
the
sides.
roadway
It goes
yet.
on the corner and on the...
sidewalk so far.
Yeah,
Not the roadway?
Not yet,
Yeah.
not yet.
sidewalk first, yeah.
Okay, Josephine's reading about that.
It's a tough gig.
So Cebu just took down their roadway dining. I thought that was going away. I mean, the sidewalk seating is different than roadway seating, which
Yeah.
is obstructing traffic and pedestrians and all
So
of the above.
Right, the Department of Transportation did issue new rules and regulations, so roadway cafes were adopted. There are new rules for roadway cafes, that's by the curb, that's not the motion on the floor right now, but that will be seasonal, and that would take place between November, you cannot have a roadway cafe between November and April. So as of November 1st, there will be no roadway dining for until April. And that's if you have a permit. So,
Wait.
so Cebu
But
and
it
any
just
other
can't-
restaurant will have to remove their dining sheds by November 1st. And there
So
are all new rules about, new structures cannot be as permanent looking in nature, they have to be movable. There's all different, there's regulations now how far apart they are from the crosswalk, the type of materials used. There's a whole litany of new regulations.
So
The
they're
top has
asking-
to be retractable, it cannot be permanent.
So they're asking for this for the spring?
So so there's two, Cebu has actually asked for two sidewalk cafes, one on 3rd, one on 88th Street, and two roadway cafes, one on 3rd and the other on 88th. And the reason, as explained by the owner of the restaurant, is the new regulations require them to be much smaller in size, because they have to be a certain amount of feet from the crosswalk, and the regulations amounted to less seats for them, explaining why they've applied for both.
I mean, I know this isn't necessarily part of our discussion, but this was to help businesses that had limited indoor seating during COVID. And now we literally have restaurants that have added 50% additional seating because they're now seating fully indoors, and they've added about 50% to their outdoors. And Cebu is probably the largest. It just seems kind of egregious, honestly.
So I will say with Cebu, they had, prior to the pandemic, had a sidewalk cafe that was approved by this board. We went back to, I think, 2003. And that footprint of that sidewalk cafe is reduced under the new program. It is smaller. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look at the electrical.
Quick update, thanks to Google. From the DOT, electrical connections for sidewalk cafes. Recommended using a licensed professional. Electrical power must be supplied from the building. Don't attach it to junction boxes like, from city poles. It must be run from the building, and it must comply with New York City electrical code. But for the sidewalk cafes, nothing explicitly about not running electrical to them.
So should those stipulations be in the resolution there, in the requirements? The stipulations for... It's in the law. Okay, so... Okay, good. So is there a motion on the floor?
So we have the
Okay.
motions on the floor,
Floor.
we'll call the question. All in favor of the?
All in favor? Okay.
Any opposed? Opposed? One. Abstentions, recusal?
Okay.
Okay, motion carries. Next item.
Okay, thank you for bearing with me. Okay, motion number 2. This is for the roadway cafe application from Cebu. Okay, the motion is to approve application 202407260300016 for a roadway cafe from Cebu for 17 tables and 44 seats, so long as the applicant agrees to the following stipulations. Again, number 1, restaurant will meet with the community board in case of future issues or problems raised by the community. Number 2, the electrical Wires and plugs that run across sidewalk will be safely secured to the ground per regulations. Number 3, closes 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, 11 p.m. Monday, Friday, and Saturday. Number 4, only ambient lighting is to be used. Number 5, umbrellas and/or soundproofing to be installed. Number 6, must observe New York City Fire Department codes, no open flame, no fire pits, no barbecue, no smoking regulations, Department of Buildings, Department codes, certificate of occupancy, and public assembly codes, and New York City Department of Consumer Affairs regulations regarding sidewalk cafes. Number 7, outdoor space must have seated food service. Number 8, sidewalk cafe area will be kept clean overnight, and furniture must be removed, stored inside at night. Number 9, observe New York City Department of Health mental hygiene regulations regarding smoking, including designated smoking areas and outdoor spaces. Number 10, observe New York City noise code regulations, and management will enforce this among patrons. Any questions, discussion?
Once again, it's talking about running wires. I'm sorry. Hold on. Once again, right? What I'd like to know is if, in fact, we're approving of something that is otherwise illegal, the illegality will, of course, rule. Am I correct on that? Do you understand what I'm saying? So, in other words, even if we say yes to that, if the law says they can't run it over there, they can't. Correct? Yes. Okay, just wanted to make sure that everybody understands that.
Unless you want to change it to say that it just meets the New York City Electrical Code.
Yeah, we override.
Which make, yeah.
I don't want to say electrical code because I don't know if there's something else. So I'd rather just say.
The building and electric codes.
All laws.
Yeah.
Current codes. Well, I mean, I guess we're stipulating whatever the law enforced is, that they would have to follow. Correct, right.
I'm just saying, I
Yep.
just want to make sure we're agreeing to something and that the law is like.
Yeah, I totally get you. Yep.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so that was number 2. Any other questions? Discussion?
Sorry, it's a very minor thing, but this is the roadway cafe, right? Was there something in the stipulations that you were reading that said sidewalk cafe instead of roadway cafe?
Did you say
Keeping
roadway
clean.
instead of sidewalk? I mean, did you say sidewalk instead of roadway?
I think what happened, the list was carried over, and instead of substituting the roadway with sidewalk, roadway for sidewalk, it was carried over in this. It's a similar.
I
list
was
of
just going to
stipulations, so
suggest
it's
just that we
correct.
fix.
I didn't write
that.
this, I'm just reading
Yeah,
it
yeah.
for you.
Thank you. Thanks for catching that. You have a question?
And we'll correct that.
Yeah, what about DOT regulations? Is it mentioned in your stipulations? DOT, Department of Transportation.
These are the DOT regulations.
Looks like it's not mentioned. All agencies mentioned except that.
In the stipulations, there's a mention of certain agencies. We could add DOT regulations.
It says, it's got, it does say, wait, consumer affairs, buildings, fire, then what, DOT too? Yeah, we got DOT, okay.
Thank you. As amended.
Okay. Okay, so there's a motion on the floor. If there's no further discussion, do I have a motion in favor?
We have a second, right?
Second? All in favor?
All in favor? As amended. As amended, yes.
Okay.
Who's the second? Wait, who was the second? I'm going backwards. Second? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24? I didn't have my hand up. 25, 26? Anybody else? Any opposed? 1, 2. 2. That's it, 3? 3 opposed. Who was the second on that? May I ask who the second was on that? Who's second?
I think Daniel was.
You seconded?
No? Ralph? Okay, thank you.
Okay, to continue, okay, so update on pedestrian safety. The Traffic and Transportation Committee received a report from the district office detailing recent and proposed improvements to Marine Avenue and CB10 collision and enforcement data. Marine Avenue was the site of a pedestrian fatality between 96th Street and 97th Street in November 2023. In 2024, 2 speed bumps and 1 speed camera were installed. Future proposed improvements include curb extensions at 96th Street, 97th Street, and 3rd Avenue, and enhanced crossings at 96th Street and 97th Street. Curb extensions extend the sidewalk to shorten pedestrian crossings, and enhanced crossings give pedestrians a clear place to cross mid-street. In the Collision and Enforcement Data Report, the district office had reviewed collision data from 2019 through 2024. City and district-wide collisions are trending up since 2021. The Vision Zero heat map shows low but rising levels of collisions since 2012. Vision Zero has identified additional priority corridors to CB10, 65th Street between 6th Avenue and Avenue P, 8th Avenue between 73rd Street and 39th Street, 5th Avenue between 4th Avenue and Flatbush Avenue, and 13th Avenue between 86th Street and 36th Street. Additionally, 68th Precinct B summons, which relate to moving violations, are down year over year. Year to date, in the 68th Precinct, the following. Pedestrian fatalities are up 300%, from 1 last year to 4 so far this year. Citywide, it's up 24%. Double parking summons are down 63%. Citywide, it's down 12%. Speeding summonses are also down 63%. Citywide, it's down 23%. The report noted the following high collision count areas are missing leading pedestrian indicator signals. 13th Avenue, 14th Avenue, 6th Avenue, 7th Avenue, and Ridge Boulevard. The Department of Transportation has a number of ongoing traffic studies, including at Poly Place, 7th Avenue, Ridge Boulevard and 70th Street, 4th Avenue Safety Study, and at least 8 other active studies. DOT has met with the committee on Poly Place project last spring. Both Middle School 407 and Poly Prep has requested additional focus on the redesign. Let me just get to this page. Lastly, the committee discussed the creation of a working group that can meet more frequently to discuss pedestrian safety and update the 2011 report. The working group will include other committee members as well as public members. The district office has submitted a fellow proposal to assist with this committee on advocacy and surveys. This year, the committee plans on reviewing scooter e-bike safety concerns and to request meetings with DOT and the 68th Precinct to demystify rules and regulations around scooters and e-bikes. Additionally, the committee will conduct discussions on the New York City Ferry, MTA, including bus redesign, BQE, and other topics as they come up. This is respectfully submitted on behalf of Jack Shane, the Traffic and Transportation Chair.
Thank you so much. Next, we will move on to our Environmental Committee report. Please welcome Tracy Brinton.
Good evening, everyone. The Environmental Committee met on September 26, 2024 at 6 p.m., starting with a viewing of the DSNY bin program info session. Then immediately after, the CB10 Hybrid Environmental Committee meeting was held in person at the district office and via Zoom. Richard Day presented the DSNY Residential Waste Containerization info session, and Steve Caruso of the DSNY attended the committee meeting. To remove the mountains of black bags on New York City streets, DSNY has announced a plan to containerize all residential trash beginning fall of 2024, addressing the 16 billion pounds of trash on the street annually. DSNY addressed the following in both the Information Center and the question and answer session with committee members and members of the public. So I've bullet pointed for the new regulations. So beginning November 12th, 2024, all New York City properties with 1 to 9 residential units must use a 55-gallon or less bin with a secure lid for trash collection. This regulation includes single-family homes and special-use buildings such as houses of worship. Until June of 2026, it does not have to be an official NYC bin. The official NYC bins are available at significantly lower price than similar bins at retail stores, like less than $50, and are available at www.bins.nyc or 1-855-NYC-BINS. At this time, only trash must be in containers. You can still place recyclables, metal, glass, and plastic out in clear bags after 8 p.m. Bins can be placed out as early as 6 p.m. There will be an enforcement aspect. A warning period will be in effect from November 12th through January 2nd of 2025. After the warning period, failure to use a bin that is 55 gallons or less with a secure lid for trash set out will result in fines. It is $50 for the first offense, $100 for the second offense, and $200 for the third and subsequent offenses. Write your address on your bin. It is your property, you own it. If your bins are stolen, report the theft to NYPD, not the DSNY. If NYPD finds them, RFID chips and serial numbers can help return the property to you. In mixed-use buildings where there is no rear space, bins can be stored in front of the building, clean and orderly along the building line, not impeding pedestrian traffic. Concerns were raised that business owners along commercial corridors are already using bins are experiencing illegal dumping, and that illegal dumping could be also an issue at the corner public bins. DSNY noted that they would pass the information on. Bins can be chained together while in storage, but they cannot be chained during collection. And while there is no minimum bin size requirement, they recommend using a standard size covered container. The Environmental Committee adjourned at 7:20. Respectfully submitted, Tracy Britton.
Hello. I really think the DSNY has not thought this through completely. You already have the commercial businesses using bins. Today I received 10 summonses for businesses that do not have bins yet. So I had to go to my tenants and tell them to pay the fine. So you're going to have a commercial store with bins of their own in front of their business, and then the building owner is going to put more bins in front of that business for the building garbage. You are not going to be able to see the store at all from all the bins that are lining up against the business, making it unhygienic if it's a food business. And you can't place the bins inside the building, especially if you have a building on 3rd Avenue or 5th Avenue, because there are no alleyways. Fire department code will not let you put them inside the hallways, and I think that the Department of Hygiene and Health won't allow you to do that either. So DSNY has done a very poor job in thinking this through. You're going to see nothing but bins. This will do nothing to relieve rats like it's supposed to. and you're going to see nothing but bins. And I know the Fifth Avenue bid and the 86th Street bid have raised concerns about this as well, which I'm a board member of both. But when the bids empty out the bins and they put their plastic bags by their garbage cans for pickup at a later hour, I was told that the city will fine the bids because they're placing plastic bags by their bins on the corner. So the city is going to fine and give summonses to a bid which is financed by the city of New York. How crazy is that? Stephanie, I know you're here. If you could relay our concerns to Councilman Brennan, this is absolutely ludicrous. You're going to see nothing but bins lining the stores of 3rd and 5th Avenue, and it will be a total chaotic mess.
What is a bin? I mean, what I'd like to know, we're calling them bins, but I'm very serious. Is a garbage can?
So it's a garbage can.
Whoa, the standard garbage can is a bin. But what do you?
So it has to have a secure lid. It can be metal. It can be anything.
No. If you have a plastic garbage can, I have a plastic garbage can. I remember the old brown things that they used to have for the. No. I'm talking about when we had for the compost and that kind of thing. But are we talking about like the plastic ones have the snaps on the side? Is that a secure bin so that it's nothing more than the garbage cans that we currently have? Is that right?
For now, but of June of 2026, you will have to have, or residents will have to have the official NYC bin, which is the one with the lid and
with the lid
wheels.
that will come off so that and then they're going to have the trucks that
because they're
dump
retrofitting
it.
the trucks and they're going to,
All right.
Yeah.
Can you get those now?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so you can get the official ones
There's
now,
two.
so you don't have to buy garbage cans. Right. Okay.
Yeah, there's
That's what
two
I'm
sizes. There's a 35 and a 45, I believe, on the website. And they're not free. They're under $50, but they.
So and you can only buy them from one distributor who knows somebody.
Right. But they're less than the retailer in general, from what we've been told. And if you have to buy it, it's going to change eventually anyway.
Right.
So might as well start with the one that's going to be regulated.
With the one that somebody knows, right? Okay.
Do you have an update on the composting, when they're going to start with that, and what's going to happen when they do that?
Wait, we have the answer. Wait a minute, we have the answer. 1 second.
Hiya, I'm Richard Day. I'm the one who gave that presentation in the first place. So I'm appreciating all the heat. It's not my idea, to be clear. Compost has been around for over a year now in Brooklyn. It's been going since last October. So you should be setting out your compost right now on your recycling day. So there's enforcement around not setting out your leaf and yard waste. So currently, if you're not setting your leaf and yard waste out in a compost bin for collection, you can be fined. Food waste isn't going to be enforced until April 1st of next year. Right, yeah, so you can compost it right now, but enforcement for that's not going to happen until April. So.
Thanks. So I live in a 55-unit building, and I know we have many, many buildings in Bay Ridge. The rollout for composting has just been horrible. There's been no education in the building. I don't know what we're going to do with bins. I don't know how we're going to handle composting. The solution in our co-op was that they installed a freezer in the basement. However, my husband asked, what happens if a child crawls into that unlocked freezer? The basements are not patrolled. It's in a communal area. I feel like so many issues are being raised by this, and there's no guidance and no addressing of safety issues and compliance issues.
I'm sorry to do this to you, Richard. Would you like to answer on the larger buildings and the rollout for the compost on that? If you don't mind? I know you're wearing your board hat tonight, so.
Yeah. No, so in terms of educating folks about composting, last year we canvassed the entire borough. We knocked on all 1 to 9 unit buildings, so obviously a 55 unit building didn't fit in that. The reasoning behind that was that if you go up to a 55 unit building, you knock on a door, like you're probably not going to get the person you need to speak to there. So we weren't able to speak to large buildings in that way. What we have been doing for the last several months at least, we have been doing online information sessions that folks can attend. We do have sessions that are translated into Spanish and Chinese as well. So we do general presentations, and we also do them directed towards like building management. They're largely the same, but building management speaks about more management of the program within the building.
If you have management companies that actually
Right.
communicate with shareholders and residents.
Right. So that's what we're able to offer folks. We're a pretty small unit, but we do have plenty of resources available online for free for download or to order to your building or attend any of our sessions. And the reason why we have such a long period between rollout and fines is so that people can work out any sorts of issues within the building and get used to it before they're subject to any fines.
Unfortunately, you're presuming that buildings have the wherewithal or the capacity or the structures for dealing with the issues that are being raised by this. And my concern is that many buildings do not have that. And so this is just going to be a mess, as other people have stated.
Anything else?
Since we are on the subject of bins, though, maybe we can table the compost for the time being and just the new regulations for the bins.
Can I just make one more comment on composting? One comment before you.
It's up to Tracy.
I'm just wondering if this should be a discussion. They're two different discussions, and it's a huge discussion, so.
I met the city truck last week in front of my clinic with 3 different colors, black, green, and brown. So I didn't know why is he there, so I asked him, what are these? He said, oh, these are the new pins that you're gonna use. I saw him, he was in front of me. So why is he loading them in his truck? Isn't he supposed to give it to the buildings, or what's going on?
He's collecting. You're talking about the collection?
No, brand new ones.
Oh, delivery.
They were delivering for those who
Right.
ordered.
Yeah. They
If you ordered
deliver
online,
them,
you were getting your delivery.
And the shipping and handling is included, so they get delivered. And you can also order recycling and compost off of,
So 3 colors.
yes,
3 colors.
yes, yeah.
Perfect. Get ready.
I actually have concern for our aging population with the size of the new bins. They can be really cumbersome to have to drag out to the sidewalk. There's an additional expense. We have a community that is aging in place. And I personally am dealing with some major health issues. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it.
Well,
And I have also had the situation where I've run out when I was feeling better. I've run out when I heard the sanitation truck at midnight to bring them my stuff. And the guy looks at me, smiles, and tosses my recycling in with the garbage. So I'm as green as I can be, and I theoretically support this, and anything that makes things a little healthier and easier for sanitation workers, I'm for. We're not Los Angeles. We don't have wide roadways. We don't have, it should be enough to have a bin with a lid. It just should be. And also I'm thinking, people have parties in the summer, parties for Christmas, parties for whatever. What if the amount of garbage exceeds 1 bin?
We did get an answer for that.
So you just
You need a
live
second
with
bin.
it inside?
It needs to go in a second bin. If
You
you
know,
have an
it-
event
it's-
that creates
It's not
extra
budgetarily
trash.
feasible for everybody.
Understood.
And what are we supposed to do with our old bins that are no longer legal? We're not gonna have a flood of garbage cans that are gonna pollute the environment. Yeah. Is there a plan for that? Is any-
Recycling.
How am I gonna cut it up? It's thick. I have, you know.
Is there an answer? Does anyone have any additional questions on the bin regulations themselves?
Just on the topic of
Everyone,
additional
Can we
bins.
give attention to Richard, please?
Sorry, guys. Just on the topic of additional bins, the idea is basically that once they're no longer legal, after that June 2026 date, you can repurpose them for your recycling or for compost if you want. Or you can recycle them if you'd wish. They're perfectly recyclable. So, that's all.
Okay, we're gonna have to.
Just a short comment. The rubber strap that fastens the bin does not seem effective.
I'm not sure of the.
Yeah, I
Okay.
purchased the bin.
Oh, you purchased one,
from the
okay.
city, yep, and it
Okay.
arrived. I ordered the smaller size one. But it's a hinged top, but then there's a separate rubber strap that hooks the lip, hooks to the lip. I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah.
In the essence of time, I think it's time to curb the DSNY discussion, okay? All right, thank you all. I appreciate, thank you, Tracy, and thank you to Richard for handling all those additional questions. They deserve a round of applause. And now we're on to Senior Issues, Housing, Health, and Welfare Committee report. Please welcome Carmelo Di Bartolo.
Hey, everybody. I'm just reading this. I got the call at the last minute, so just bear with me while I work my way through this. Report of Senior Issues, Housing, Health, and Welfare Committee, September 23rd, 2024, at 7 p.m. A meeting of the Senior Issues, Housing, Health, and Welfare Committee was held on September 23rd, 2024, at 7 p.m. as a hybrid meeting. It was attended by committee members, invited speakers, members of the community. Present were two guests from Bay Ridge Center for Older Adults, Todd Fliedner and Ahmed Al-Faraj. Our first invited speaker was Megan Scheiman, Senior Director, Research and Development for NYC Aging, spoke about special needs assessment survey that is being conducted by the Department of the Aging, which is also known as NYC Aging. Purpose of the survey is to help NYC Aging better understand the needs of older New Yorkers and their caregivers. Currently, there are more than 1.8 million people in NYC over the age of 60, and it is increasing to 1.86. This accounts for 16.2% of the city's population. Of this number, 220,000 older adults receive services from NYC Aging, and the expectation is that the survey will help with program planning, advocacy, and to gain a better understanding of unmet needs. We look forward to hearing the results of this survey. Our next speaker was Sharice Lawrence, Brooklyn Government Affairs Officer for NYC Aging. Serves as our liaison to NYC Aging and spoke about annual plan summary and services available for older adults. The annual plan summary public hearings provide an opportunity for older persons, service providers, and advocates to identify priority needs, recommend to enhance services, and suggest an agenda for legislative advocacy to NYC Aging and Older Adult Advisory Council. The hearings will be on Wednesday, October 30th, 2024, at the J. Harama Older Adult Center, 2600 Ocean Parkway. Additional information is available on the website nyc.gov.aging. To register, email testimony@nyc.gov testimony@aging.nyc.gov, or submit written testimony, comments via email or mail to the NYC Department of the Aging, care of Sharice Lawrence, 2 Lafayette Street, 4th floor, New York, 10007. All comments must be received by November 3rd. NYC, pardon me, NYC Department of the Aging is now referred to as NYC Aging. It's the largest aging department in the U.S. They now refer to seniors as older adult. For example, we now have centers for older adults rather than senior centers. The focus is to combat ageism and keep older adults safe. September was a National Older Adult Appreciation Month. Woohoo! On October 8th, there will be a healthy aging fair at the Bay Ridge Center. They will focus on avoiding falls and other health issues. I like that. Avoiding falls is definitely on my list of things to avoid. October 9th is Aging Awareness Day, sponsored by the American Society of the Aging. On October 10th, there will be a competition called Talent is Timeless to promote the vitality of older adults. There is a national employee order, older adult workers needed scheduled. And NYC Aging provides employment assistance to older adults and to civil service workers. Hold on, I got another couple of paragraphs and then we're done. All police precincts have older adult liaisons to address abuse and crime against older adults and connect to elder law services. Aging Connect is the New York City Department for the Aging's information and referral contact center for older adults and their families. Callers are referred to services, opportunities in their community to reach Aging Connect. Call 1-212-AGING-NYC, 212-244-6469, or 311. Following the presentation, the committee discussed the problem of bicycles and motorized bikes for older adults in the neighborhood. Numerous older adults come to the district office daily to call in and voice their vulnerability and fears of being hit by bicycles that come dangerously close to them on sidewalks. All agreed that this is a concern that must be addressed. The committee plans to update the CB10 local older adult directory is proceeding in conjunction with the Bay Ridge Center. And finally, a motion was made to change the name of the Senior Issues Health and Welfare Committee to the Older Adult Issues Health and Welfare Committee. This will require discussion and a vote. A motion was, for today's board, a motion was made to adjourn, and this was submitted on behalf of Ruth Greenfield-Mazer, who's the chair. Now we're going to vote on that. Is anybody? Yes? Dorothy, you're up.
One at a time. Wait, one at a time.
No, you get, it's right. It's older adult versus senior.
What about old adults?
Older adults.
Old adults.
Just old.
Older adults. It's older adult
Don't give them a hard
issues.
time.
Define old and older.
Older. No, it's older. It's not old. It's older. It's
Any other
older.
discussion?
Older is older than old. Older is older than old. And then,
Any real discussion? Any real discussion? Yes, thank you.
anybody have a, okay, do we call the question? Oh, you have a question? Okay, she's seconding it. All in favor? Thank you so much.
Wait, any opposed?
We're changing the
Opposed?
name.
Any opposed? Ask any opposed.
Oh, I'm sorry, any opposed? Any recusals?
Wait, we have opposed?
Yeah,
One, two?
yeah.
Three? I can't see.
3 opposed.
Hands
4.
high up.
Ooh,
High up.
this is like,
Wait a minute.
this is like the Mets.
Stop. Wait, stop. Okay, attention. Let's go back. How many are opposed?
Call the question, please. Call the question again.
The question, the nation, to change the name of the Senior Issues Health and Welfare Committee to the Older Issues Health and
Older
Welfare.
adults.
Older Issues. No, it's Older Adult Issues. Older adult issues, health and welfare.
Housing, health and welfare.
Oh, it's not even on there. It's not in there.
Okay, but it should be in there.
It should be in there. It's housing. It is? Okay, I messed up.
Okay.
We're changing it from senior to older, the senior adult to older adult.
From senior issues to older adult issues.
Right, older adult issues.
Okay, so how many,
Okay, how many,
start again. What, wait, stop.
yeah, it just should be easy.
Excuse me, there's a lot more opposition than I would have suspected, so can I please hear from one of those who are opposed, so
Yeah,
I
sure.
understand?
I agree.
I'm sorry to draw this out.
I was kind of
So how many were
surprised.
opposed? Who was opposed and who would like to speak?
Yeah, he's opposed.
One is a connotation, all right, between older and senior. I'm a senior. I'm not older than everybody else.
With I don't, personally, I don't care.
Thank you.
But there are people who have been changing these because some seniors feel it's ageist. So just calling people older adults is a better way to go about business. No, it's not about politics. It's just about, people's.
It is a matter of opinion. Come on, call me
It's a matter of
older.
opinion. Most of society's a matter of opinion.
I think I would like the word senior sticks up, which is beautiful. Older adults stands for what? For 85 like me? Or 65? Or what does it stand? What does it end?
What does senior stand for?
It stands for I passed my life.
The terminology is
This is
changing
interesting.
because there are people that are older. I was at the meeting.
Right.
The
Thank you.
terminology is changing because there are people that are older. Not everybody is senior. You could be 62 years old and be an older adult. You can go to things at Bay Ridge Center as a 62-year-old. Maybe you're not senior. So older is a broader term and it's a less ageist term. And that's why the terminology is now older adult, which is being used by the city and is being used by all the people that service that population, which is a broader population. And in a city that's growing with a lot of more people, I mean, the numbers were read out, like this is relevant for New York City and it's especially relevant for Bay Ridge.
Thank you.
Define senior. Define senior. You defined it older. Define senior.
This is really getting.
So now we're going to call the question. Have we done it? We've argued it. Okay, let's go. Now it's opinion time. All in favor of changing it from senior to adult, to older adult?
So, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Jane? 17, 18. 18. And opposed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
All you older guys.
9,
Come on.
9.
These are the seniors now.
Okay, so motion carries.
The motion passed. Thank you.
Any abstentions? Abstentions?
No,
Everybody
sent.
voted.
One? Okay, we had one.
1, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. It was getting as controversial as pickleball versus tennis for a while there, wasn't it? Did you feel it? I did. Now, in light of the older adults and the time that it is at this juncture, we have our next two reports are informational. So perhaps we can have a motion to attach these informational reports to the minutes in light of the fact that it's 9:15. A motion and seconded. All in favor? Thank you. Okay. Any opposed? Okay, one opposed, the one who wrote his thing. We can always revisit it as the first item next month, I promise. Okay, is there any other old business? Old, not senior business. All right, any other old business?
Can I just ask one quick question?
I need you to get a microphone.
I don't want to delay anything, but,
No problem.
so, A lot of my neighbors and clients are asking me if there's any update on visitation.
Not as far as I know.
No. And the other thing is, I just quickly, on 86th Street, I understand they're going to be making Centuries into rental apartments now. Just wanted to know if on the main level, would there be retail? Yes. I didn't know, okay.
Okay, we have another.
I'll try to be really quick, but I had brought up at the last meeting that maybe we should have a speaker buffer. And with the election approaching and also the homeless shelter hearing, I wonder if that might be a useful thing to do, is just have a bubble about 3 feet around speakers so that they can
Probably a good idea.
speak without being physically intimidated by a podium. So I don't know if I can make a motion for that now on the floor, or if that's possible, or wait.
Or do we bring it up next month at the top of it?
Just about a 3-foot bubble.
Hold on. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. Were you referring to this at the podium or at the seating area?
Both when walking up and then also at the podium. So if somebody's waiting in line or at the podium, so they could have free passage to and from expressing their controversial viewpoints.
Okay. I'm sorry. Is that working?
gave out, we killed it.
I think the idea is basically when
Hold on.
1, 2.
no one else can come within about
1, 2.
5 feet of you.
Just keep away from
We had that problem with a couple of them.
Yeah, we've been there.
If I'm understanding correctly, just when someone is talking in public session, that no one else can go within about 3 feet of them while they're speaking, so no one can like rush up to the podium or try to intimidate someone. We had a couple of public meetings where that happened in the past, and just
Yeah.
have that as part of the rules.
Right.
Thank you for a microphone that works.
Wait.
I could actually hear you.
Okay, she's thanking for my.
No, that's all. I've been struggling
Thank you.
all night.
All right, so with that was brought up, do we add that in? How was that handled?
Yeah, if they stick to the 2 minutes, nobody will walk up to them. But when they stick to 10 minutes, we have a problem. Because also, you guys, and I, including me, we want to go home. I am?
No, he's older. Okay. So
Is that a motion? Is that a
yeah,
motion?
that's what I need to understand. I'm just trying to understand if that was a motion then? That's, so would that be a motion, and then we would need that seconded? And then we would call to ask at this point if all are in favor of creating this kind of safety space around those who are speaking at our meetings.
Okay, so ask for all in favor. Who's in favor? How
All
many
in favor?
Do we have discussion already?
I'm sorry, we have more questions for discussion than.
Is there more?
Mhm. Mhm.
We had simple questions. Who would be the enforcer of this thing? How do you,
It would be the chair.
Dorothy would have to, stand there.
Yeah, we're going to work on it. So then perhaps this is something that we can table to bring up at a committee meeting. Would that be agreeable? All right. At the executive board meeting, the executive board will have to. I'm sorry. Would we have, hold on.
Wait. I'll take this one.
Thank you, please do.
Okay, I don't know, I probably heard wrong, like we're getting, like if someone is speaking, like a safety net around them?
No,
No.
like unofficial, everybody stay away. When someone's speaking. Someone has, because
Like-
we've been at meetings where it got contentious and people jumped up.
Really?
Right.
Okay. So I have experience, I love this board. Community Board 10. I've never experienced that here, but I've had that experience in other boards. As just witnessing, you guys are great. So I think we can talk, like if we're uncomfortable. I don't know. I've never experienced that here. I think we have this era of we agree to disagree. Members of the public. Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, this is going to be the Cinderella motion because we're getting time, the clock is ticking. We're going to have to agree to table the motion. So this discussion, we will bring it up at executive committee so that we could come up with, we understand the reason for it. It's the execution of it, of how that could be carried out, where we have questions and would continue discussion. So do I have a motion to table it? And seconded, all in favor of tabling that? Thank you so much. If there is not any other old business, oh, we have old business over here.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Perhaps that's new business, given this. So we have that. Thank you so much. No other new business. Thank you. Do we have the motion to adjourn? Seconded. All in favor? Thank you all for your time. You actually have new business. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. Would you come up and we'll put it on for next month?